Hello folks, my name is Mark, this is Why I Hate the World, how you guys doing? So this is another video in a series I like to call Stupid Things That People Say, and this is about conspiracy theorists, right? Specifically the idea that every time that there are mysterious forces out there, groups of people who are paying other people to go argue their point on the internet. So, what do I mean by that? Well, seems like every time I get in an argument with a conspiracy theorist about, something or other, at some point the guy will accuse me of being a paid shill, and he'll say that, my Jewish overlords are paying me to go and disagree with his point. And I just think the entire notion of that is just asinine horseshit. And it's just fucking ridiculous. It's like, basically, it's an out, is what it is. What it is because, because none of these conspiracy theories, there's never any real proof of any of them, or else they wouldn't be conspiracy theories. They'd be conspiracy facts, right? So they're theories, and there's never any real proof of anything. And whenever you try to point this out, give me some actual proof of your claim, it's like a last resort kind of thing. It's like when the guy has nowhere else left to argue, so he just, uses the Shill Gambit and accuses you of being, you're in on it or whatever. And it's just like it's an intellectually dishonest, vapid, empty fucking argument, And it's just so, disgusting, because a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff out there is really just racist and disgusting, And, I did a video about this before. I used to be into this kind of stuff way back in the day, mainly because as a kid I was fascinated with the idea of UFOs. I used to be into sci-fi movies and stuff as a child, and I still am, right? And I was fascinated with the idea of flying saucers and aliens coming to visit us and stuff like that. And I was reading books about it, as a child, and that one thing leads to another. And by the time I was 17, 18. I believed all kinds of crazy shit about, lots of things, government assassinations. I believed in all of that. I believed in fucking, mysterious forces in our government. I never really believed in the whole one world government NWO thing, But, I was up there. I mean, and the 90s was a very good time for this kind of thing, we had the X-Files on TV. You had, guys like Richard Hoagland and stuff are putting out big, huge books, and what was it? Coast to Coast AM was on the air, and it was still kind of underground. Not a lot of people knew about it, and so you kind of felt like you were part of the, you were in on a secret and shit when you would listen to it. And I would talk to friends, and there wasn't really much of an internet back in those days, so you couldn't research these things very easily. You had to go to an actual library and look up encyclopedias and all that other crap. So there wasn't, you couldn't just go to a website and then check it out and see that it was bullshit. You know what I mean? So, I was kind of into this stuff, and it wasn't until actually later, probably around 04, 05, that I started to kind of get out of it, because I started noticing a very prevalent racist undertone under the entire thing. A racist undertone and a right-wing undertone and a very conservative Christian undertone under the entire conspiracy movement. And that started turning me off of it. And to be honest, it was right around the end of the Bush administration, right around there, 05, 06. By 2007, I was kind of all right, this is all bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's, but it's very seductive to people, and I can understand, because you want, why? Because as an average person, especially a young person without any money and without any, without any, actual prospects, the way the economy is right now, you can spend, all this money going to college and getting a degree and still not get a job, that shit's out there. So a lot of young people are feeling a little disenfranchised and a little worthless, they're asking themselves, why did I work this hard for? I worked really hard. I went to college. I fucking spent all this money. I'm going to be in debt up to my eyeballs for the next 20 years. And I can't even get a fucking job. None of it matters. And then they see shit on TV and they wonder, why is all this stuff happening? Why is there fucking, like, school shootings, and why do we have madmen running for president and all this other baloney? And it's comforting. It's comforting to think that there's actually somebody in charge, And so it's a worldview, and I think it's actually akin to a religion. This whole conspiracy theory thing. It's akin to a religion to me. It has all the elements of like a mystery religion back in ancient times and stuff. It's as you get more and more into it, and as you study, more mysteries are revealed to you, and then you feel like you have the super secret info, and then you go on something like InfoWars or whatever, and you see Alex Jones talking about the end of the world and whatever, and it's a comforting worldview to know, like, to some people, to think that, well, when the end comes, I'm going to be ready, And it's just really too bad that the entire thing is just complete, total bullshit. And so it's sort of like, when you argue with these people, it's like arguing with anyone who believes in a religion, If you've ever went on the internet or in real life and like have debated Christians or have debated Muslims or something like that about things like creationism or, homosexuality or gay marriage. If you've ever like debated these things with religious people, then that the way that they think is they're very closed-minded, they're very dogmatic. It's the book says this, and so we have to do this, and then they interpret the Bible or the Quran or whatever to fit their own worldview, and it's a very it's like beating a dead horse kind of thing, talking to a brick wall sort of thing. And you really can't, you can't make people understand without it affecting them personally in their lives. And that's really the only way that people like that ever change their minds, is that if something like that personally affects them, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what happens when you go and you debate a conspiracy theorist about something, like, for example, there's Reddit. And I see people occasionally posting things like, anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, or, whenever there's a shooting, right, which happens every fucking week in America, somebody goes on and says that they're like crisis actors and it's really a government conspiracy to take away your guns. And, and so I go on, and because a lot of this stuff is really disgusting. I mean, especially the anti-Semitic shit, I think it's just like, dude, get the fuck out of here, And so you try to debate these people, and then the first thing they do, when you corner them and you ask them for proof, is they accuse you of being in on it. They say you're a shill, you're just a paid shill, and how much are the Rothschilds paying you to argue? And it's like, it's the most fucking just intellectually vapid, empty fucking, cop-out. It's complete bullshit. It's like, you're part of the conspiracy. It's like, nobody, if you believe in this stuff and you're watching this, let me just say that no one is paying anybody to debate you, all right? Not about the stupid shit that you morons talk about, right? No one is paying you to debate, like, the merits of Holocaust denial or crisis actors, or, which Jew is in control of the fucking financial industry or whatever. No one is, you know why? Because that shit is like, it's not real, number one. It's bullshit, It's either bullshit or it's not real, and nobody fucking cares about it, there's no rich and powerful guy like George Soros or some shit is not paying people to go and fucking debate your ass on 4chan. It's bullshit, dude, No one is actually trying to help you, give you the super secret info, all right? Alex Jones or fucking Tex Mars or whatever, those guys aren't trying to help you fucking take the country back from the evil NWO, reptilian overlords or whatever. They're just selling you books, okay? They're just fucking getting you to fucking pay to go on their podcast, to download their podcasts. They're just trying to sell you gold and survival equipment. It's an industry like anything else, and the only fucking sheeple here are you morons for fucking buying it. Alright, adios, folks.